Hello, and welcome to this workshop called Fuel Your Strength: How to Eat for Strength and Hormonal Balance for Women over 35, 40, and beyond. So, I wanted to take a moment to welcome you to this workshop, and I hope that you will find it helpful. And if you have attended any of my workshops in the past, I always say, I just hope that you get one little nugget of information or something that you can apply to your life right away. So you can apply it right away today, tomorrow, sometime this week. So that is my goal for you today and my goal here today is to give you a little bit of information about how to eat for strength and hormonal balance and take something away from this that you can apply right away today or tomorrow. So, my name is Heather Monthie. I am the founder of Cella Wellness Company, and I'm a wellness coach, a yoga teacher, and I'm a behavior change and learning expert. I spent a large portion of my career and still spend a large portion of my career in education and helping people learn using technology to help people learn. So that's really sort of my expertise in my PhD is technology, education, learning, and behavior change. So, Sorella Wellness, the mission of Sorella Wellness is to empower women over 35, 40, and beyond to reclaim their strength, confidence, and energy through a balanced approach to fitness, nutrition, and mindset. And so, what I wanted to do is take all the experience that I have in online education and technology and learning and create this platform, this online platform to help women reclaim their strength, their confidence, their energy through a balanced approach to fitness, nutrition, and mindset. So, I also have a podcast called Strong Body, Strong Mind, Balanced Life. And there's where I really give you some little nuggets. Just I like to give little nuggets, right? I always like to say that just, if you got one little thing, I'm happy. Okay. So go ahead, listen to Strong Body, Strong Mind. We've got some really great information there for you as well. So, the first thing that I want to talk about here is thinking about when we build a nice strong body. And I don't mean like you can, bench press certain number of weights or, or pounds, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just, we're just focused on building a strong body versus like I'm trying to just get skinny. We're really focusing on building strong strength. Okay. When you focus on building strength in your body, it naturally helps you build strength in your mind. So think about like maybe right now, or maybe in the past, you've started some sort of wellness regime. You maybe joined a gym and started working out, going to some group fitness classes, or maybe you started going to yoga classes or bar classes or Pilates or name your thing, right? And you started going to these classes, but you also started to notice sort of this mindset shift in your mind as well. And you started implementing some of these things throughout the rest of your life. Okay. So other areas of your life. And so you started thinking about like, well, what am I eating after I work out or even before I work out? Or am I getting enough water? Or am I getting enough sleep so that I can be able to go to my favorite fitness class tomorrow or go on that hike, whatever it might be. So as a result, you start doing these things, you start to naturally build this strength in your mind. Okay. And so it kind of goes both ways. You start working on some strength in your mind and it helps shift you to start thinking about how are you building strength in your body. It's sort of this cycle, this thing that they just happen together, right? And so I want you to think about how a healthy, balanced lifestyle gives you the confidence and resilience and the ability to handle whatever life throws your way. And this is something I talked about in my most recent episode of Strong Body, Strong Mind. And it's about overcoming doubt. And I did talk in there about the ability to handle whatever life throws your way as being a way that we measure progress. Okay. And so when we're talking about doubt, it can get frustrating when you're like, I want to lose weight, or I want to fit into this pair of shorts by summertime, or I want to do these things. And when we get 35, 40, 45 beyond, some of these things take a little bit longer. All right. And it can become very frustrating and you can start to lose your motivation. I know I have been there 100%. Okay. So I talk about thinking about how maybe you went through a stressful moment at work, a stressful meeting at work, a stressful thing in your life, in your day-to-day life with your kids, your family, your parents, your neighbors, whatever it might be, that you all of a sudden kind of reflect back and you're like, I handled that really well. Like I didn't fly off the handle. I stayed calm. Whereas before you might have just kind of flown off the handle or not handled it in the way that you wanted to handle it. Okay. So think about like that when we start working on building a strong body and a strong mind, it's also going to impact how we handle stress. Okay. So it's not about perfection. We are certainly not preaching perfection here. I never preach perfection. It's just about feeling strong, energized, and empowered in every aspect of your life and just staying consistent with it. And it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but we just keep moving forward every single day. Okay. So today we're going to talk about how to fuel your body for strength, energy, and hormonal balance after 40. I'm going to include 35 in here, simply because I believe that many women, late 30s, start to feel some of these changes that are happening. I know I certainly did. I'm, I've talked about this before. I don't have any before or after pictures just yet. You know what I did is I kind of stopped taking pictures, like full body pictures of myself, because I was just at a point I was just like, I don't want to see this. I'll be honest, like that's just kind of where I was. So I'm working on trying to find some like before pictures. And I'm still not to my after. We're never really to our after though. It's always a work in progress, right? Um, but I want to include with women 35 to 39 in here as well, because I was, if I think back 38 or so, 37, 38 or so, where I just like became this person that was just gaining 5 to 10 pounds a year over like 8 years, 7, 8 years. And I mean, that adds up. I mean, even if you gain 5 pounds a year over 7 years, that's 35 pounds. Okay. And so I think that started in my late 30s. If I go back and look, I track a lot of stuff. It did start like in my late 30s. And it was really just like this slow creep of weight just slowly creeping on. All right. And I had to really change some things about how I was approaching how I was eating. I did a lot of research, read a lot of books. And so what I want to do today is just talk about some of the things that I've learned, some of the things that work, and help you create a plan, even if it's just one thing that you're going to implement tomorrow for building a body for strength, fueling your body for strength and hormonal balance. So this right here is what I call the balance method to a healthy lifestyle. I've got it right here. You will see this in a lot of my videos. I talk about it if I don't necessarily bring it out, but any of my content, courses, educational material on the Cella Wellness Institute is certainly based around this balance method. Okay. So it's important to note that, I'm not a healthcare practitioner. I'm not your physician. You want to make sure that you're always checking in with your physician, with your healthcare provider based on your unique situation, your unique background, your unique medical experiences and medical needs. Okay. So it's really, really, really important to take that into consideration. So this is a general sort of framework that I use when I talk about a healthy lifestyle. It's not just getting a personal trainer and going to the gym. Certainly that can start the domino effect of adding all these other things in, but it's not just working out. Okay. It's not just working out. We're not going to go into this in detail today, but the balance method stands for B is build strength, A is get adequate hydration, L lowers stress levels, A is get adequate sleep and recovery. Way easier said than done. N is to nourish your body and mind. C is to create a sustainable plan, not a plan, but a sustainable plan. And then E is to embrace consistency and accountability. Today, we're talking down here about nourishing your body. You will see all sorts of content on my YouTube channel previously and stuff coming up in the future that's really going to be based around this model. Okay. So this is my personalized framework for creating a strong, healthy, and sustainable lifestyle designed specifically for women just like you. Okay. It's built around the key pillars of fitness, nutrition, recovery, mindset, all these things that help you feel energized, strong, and confident. So today what we're going to do is talk a little bit about nutrition, right? So why is it different after 35, 40 beyond? What things make it different? I think we all know that your our bodies don't respond the same way that they did when we were 25. All right. Things change, they change. That's what happens. Okay. So we have, some hormonal shifts, lower estrogen, lower progesterone can affect muscle mass, recovery, energy, things like this. As a result of lower muscle mass, then our metabolism slows down. So naturally, over time, we lose a certain amount of muscle mass each year if we're not eating enough protein and doing resistance training. Okay. And so without that additional muscle mass, our metabolism starts to slow down. All right. So that is one thing that happens as we approach 35, 40 beyond. Okay. And then we have increased stress plus poor recovery can create those high cortisol levels, can increase fat storage. We have stressful lives. We all have stressful lives. When you're in your 30s, mid-30s, late 30s, 40s, even early 50s, maybe even mid-50s, many of us you're at the peak of your career. Your kids are becoming more independent but still need you. Parents might be needing you a little bit more now too. There's a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of stuff that we're in this sort of sandwich generation, right? That we just got a lot. There's just a lot going on. Um, so that can increase our stress levels as well. And then our nutrient absorption declines. So you might be eating all the right foods. It's just like you might not necessarily be absorbing the nutrients in the same way that you did when you were 20 or 25 years old. So in your nutrition, in your daily nutrition, we have something that we call macronutrients. And you might have heard this abbreviated as macros. But when we're talking about macros, I'm going to address it as macros. We talk about protein, carbs, and fat. These are the three macronutrients that we get in our diets. Okay. And first, I want to talk about protein. So, protein helps support muscle retention. So, like I said earlier, as we get a little bit older, naturally, we're going to lose muscle mass. There are ways to prevent that and also slow it down. Okay. What is that thing? What is the thing that you have to do? You have to eat enough protein. Protein, along with resistance training, is going to help you keep the muscle that you have and maybe even grow a little bit more. Okay. It's going to help with satiety. It's going to help you feel full and it's going to help with recovery. So after you do a tough workout, maybe you do a hike or you do a triathlon or whatever it is that you like to do for activity, it's going to help with that recovery. Okay. And so how much? How much? Everybody says like we're supposed to eat high protein when we're over 40. What does that even mean? Um, I like to shoot for 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. Now, that brings up the whole conversation about the scale. Should we be weighing ourselves? We're not talking about that today, okay? But I believe, generally speaking, as long as it's not an unhealthy number, generally speaking, we all kind of know. I mean, we know our bodies. We know our bodies. You kind of know like what weight you feel good at. Like you feel confident, you can do the things you want to do, right? Like we kind of know what that is. And if you don't, that's totally okay. Maybe you don't. That is totally okay. A-okay. All right. So there's charts out there to help you figure all that kind of stuff out. But we want to make sure that when we think about a goal body weight, that we are thinking of a weight that is healthy and sustainable. Okay. So nothing on the low side here. All right. So we don't want to be chasing that number. All right. So think about what might your goal weight be that you might be at your goal weight. So your current weight, take 1 gram of protein per pound. All right. So for ease of conversation, let's just say you weigh 150 pounds. You're good. You want to weigh 150 pounds. You'll shoot for 150 grams of protein per day. This is not 150 grams of egg whites or 150 grams of turkey. It's the protein content within that. So you might weigh out 4 ounces of chicken breast and put that on a scale, weigh out 4 ounces of chicken breast, and then you can input that into an app like MyFitnessPal. And so MyFitnessPal is free. There's ads all over the place. When you open it up, they're like, buy the premium. You can just close that and you can still use the free version of it. So then what you'll do is you'll put in there for this meal I had 4 ounces of chicken, and it will tell you how much protein is in that 4 ounces of chicken, 20, 25 grams of protein or so. So you can see how much grams of protein you're eating per day. So that might be one thing that you try tomorrow is download MyFitnessPal and just put in the food that you eat just to see how much protein are you eating. Are you eating enough? Are you eating anywhere close to zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight? Sources of protein: chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, tofu, beef, chickpeas, beans. If you're vegan or vegetarian, there's a lot of options there as well. Okay. So protein is really important for that muscle retention, satiety, and recovery. And now let's talk about carbs. So at Cella Wellness, we do not demonize carbs. Your body needs carbs to fuel workouts and support recovery. Okay. So we're looking at things like sweet potatoes and oats and quinoa, lentils, whole fruit and vegetables. I get a lot of my daily carbs from fruit and vegetables. I eat a lot of berries, bananas, um, things like this, green vegetables, green beans, peppers. There's a lot of really good options to get some nice healthy sources of carbs. Sweet potatoes, quinoa, those are another that I is a staple in my personal diet. And then you might get to a point that you actually kind of time your carbs around your workouts. You might have it before your workout and maybe after your workout as well. If you're not there, don't worry about that. It doesn't necessarily matter at this point, when you're eating. You're not a high level athlete. I mean, unless you are, maybe you're watching this and you are. You want to make sure that you're getting in those um healthy carbs. Your body needs healthy carbs. Okay. We're not demonizing carbs here. All right. They're not bad. All right. And then we have fats. So protein, carbs, and then fats. Those are our three macronutrients. And fats are really essential for hormone production and brain function. And I was just having a conversation with somebody a couple days ago about how I really feel like maybe like the 70s, definitely the 80s, and part of the 90s, there was like this big, no fat in your diet. Like everybody thought eating fat made you fat. All right. And I think it messed with us. I really do. Like a lot of us still have this negative connotation around eating fats. And there's some really good healthy fats out there that are amazing for your hormone production and for your brain function. It's also good for things like your skin and things like that. So some good sources of fats are avocados, nuts, olive oil, salmon, and chia seeds. Okay. So example snack here might be almond butter on whole wheat toast with the banana. Now that's a pretty carb and fat heavy snack. So maybe in your next meal, make sure that you're really, really prioritizing protein in that particular meal. Okay. And then hydration. Hydration. So it's not a macronutrient, but it's important enough that I wanted to include it in today's workshop. So balance, the first A in balance is adequate hydration. All right. It's that important. And I think that a lot of us are chronically dehydrated and don't drink enough water. So I want you to make sure that you're drinking enough water per day. Aim for half your body weight in ounces. Again, each of us, you're going to have different, medications that you're on and different, levels of kidney function. There's all that stuff. So you want to make sure that you're working with your healthcare provider to make sure, but really just pay attention to your hydration levels. Okay. And I think you'll find that if you are properly hydrated, you're going to have more energy. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel less groggy, less tired. And just like the picture in here, you can garnish your water with some lemon or some berries or some cucumbers or put some things in your water that is going to make you want to drink it. All right. You don't have to just necessarily always just drink tap water. Okay. So hydration is very important. And then, all right. So how do we course correct? You're like, Heather, maybe I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I'm not eating enough protein, or maybe I'm avoiding carbs or skipping eating after my workout, or I'm eating too many fats, not fueling properly before training. These are some of the things. These are some of the things that we do. All right. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Okay. Certainly not. So how do we course correct? So we course correct by taking each day at one day at a time. Okay. It's just one day at a time, even one meal at a time, one moment at a time. Okay. So, if you're not eating enough protein, how do you know you're not eating enough protein? Let's track first and see where you are. Where can you beef it up a little bit more? Maybe you're having a lot of, like this example snack over here. Maybe you're eating a lot of snacks that are really high in carbs and fat. It's good carbs and fat, but maybe not thinking enough about the protein that you're getting in a day. All right. So by tracking, you can kind of see like, well, this is what I'm doing. You don't really know what to fix until you know what you're doing, right? You don't know how to course correct, I should say, till you know what you're doing. And so, make sure you're eating carbs. Make sure you're eating them. They're not bad. Okay. So think about some of the things that you might be doing or not doing that you might want to course correct. It might be the one thing that you take away from this workshop that you're going to do tomorrow. Okay. Remember I said at the beginning, pick one thing that you're going to do tomorrow. So here's a couple examples of actionable takeaways. These are not things you have to do. These are just a couple of examples. I mentioned tracking. See what you're eating. Just you're not changing anything. Just see where you are. All right. Download my Fitness Pal. And tomorrow just be like, I'm gonna put everything I eat, I'm gonna put it in here. Doesn't matter if it's coffee creamer or mustard or ketchup or a lick of a spoon. Put it in, track absolutely everything. And you're going to be able to see I'm eating too much of this or not enough of that. And you're going to be able to see that you have some visibility to it. Can you add in a complex carb to your meal before workout, before or after your workout? Can you add in some sweet potatoes or some quinoa, something like that? Can you add in a complex carb? If you're eating simple carbs, take one out and put a complex carb in. And then maybe hydrate a little bit more intentionally. Pay attention. Again, start with just paying attention to your hydration. And then, if you aim for about half your body weight in ounces of water, it's a good place to start. Again, it's going to depend on you and your unique situation, your unique medical backgrounds. We've all got different experiences. I live in Arizona. I hike a lot. It's hot here. I hike a lot. I drink a little bit more water than somebody who might live in a different climate. Okay. So you really got to be more intentional about your hydration. So when I do this workshop live, I like to open up for Q&A. All right. So as a reminder, our mission at Cella Wellness is to empower women over 35, 40, and beyond. I need to add that to this presentation here, but our mission is to empower women over 35, 40, and beyond to reclaim their strength, confidence, and energy through a balanced approach to fitness, nutrition, and mindset. All right. So because this is not live and you're watching this on YouTube, I am opening up the comments for your questions, and I will come back to this video as you post questions. I will come back to this video, post your questions. I will come back and answer it. Even if it's 2 years from now or 3 years, I will come back and answer your questions. Okay. So make sure to go to the comments and you can leave your questions there. All right. So thank you for joining me today in this workshop. I do have a wonderful nutrition guide that goes into some of the topics that we talked about today in a little bit more detail. So I've got some examples here of some foods, my nutrition philosophy, talk a little bit about the balance method. I got some golden rules of eating, such as staying organized, eating whole foods, avoiding sugar spikes, staying hydrated, listening to your body. Well, and then talking about, well, how many calories do I need? How do I figure out how many calories I'm supposed to have in a day? How much should you eat? Protein, carbs, and fat. How to put together your plate. So I've got some really good information in here. It's the ultimate nutrition and meal planning guide for women over 35, 40, and beyond. You can go to Cella Wellness Co. and download that there. It's in the freebies section. Or I'll put a link in the description and the comments of this video as well. You can go there, you can grab it, you can download it. It's a free PDF ebook that you can download, and that'll get you on our mailing list too, that you can stay up to date with some of the upcoming events and things that we've got going on as well. So thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Heather Monthie. I'm the founder of Cella Wellness. I'm glad to have you here, and let me know what your questions are. I'll be coming back here to check the comments. Thank you.